I'm not gifted at all. I just try to think and practice a lot. I'm a hard worker, I guess. Okay, so my name is Samuel Montalvo. So I started doing Wushu because I saw it on YouTube. So I don't know if you guys ever remember the black and white trailer from Bling. People were doing a lot of jumps, even the double V twist, and I just started doing Wushu just by watching YouTube videos. I learned the 32-step form, even though it was it was a little bit wrong here and there. And I started doing that for 2 years on my own. Then I contacted the Mexico Federation. I started competing at the state. I got last place out of 10 people, obviously, because I just learned through YouTube. Then I met one of the coaches. We brought a guy from China, Chinese coach from Nanjing. And so I asked him if he could teach me, because I knew I was only going to get 3 months of, I guess, proper instruction. I took notes. So I had like a little book where I took for everyday notes, right? So like I had to do my shinji here, I had to like this way, right? And that's how I learned all my basics. The year after, 2008, it was 20 of us again. I think I ended up on the 10th place. So I did a big improve. I just worked my way up. They did another tournament. I ended up in 2nd place. I was surprised with that. I mean, I started on my own. I learned I learned to lose, because in this sport you have to learn how to lose, and I think in every sport you have to learn how to lose and learn from your mistakes. I came from the bottom up a little by little. So because I don't have a coach, I always record myself for every session. I have a tripod. I put it on the back. Those are the stories I post on my Instagram. I always record. So I try to be very critical about what I'm doing, right? So I try to think about, okay, so if I kick below my shoulder, will they deduct that? So I was like, okay, on this one I did kick below. So I did 3 outsides and one of them was high enough and the other 2 were bad. So I gotta go practice that. I used to be very nervous for competitions, but I had to find a way to train for that. So I kind of simulate my own little competition. At the gym, all dressed up with my uniform, everything staged. And I put like a little table on the front with 2 chairs. On the back I had like a little MP3 track from one of my videos where people are cheering Samuel or something like that. And that kind of resembles the competition. So I never get nervous or anxious from a competition because I have trained for that. Because I took some sports psychology courses, so I try to steal from other sports, especially from gymnastics. So for example, I have a goal setting for every competition, and my goal is never to win. That if it happens, it's good. If it doesn't happen, whatever. Right? I have always 3 goals, right? For example, I used to struggle a lot with my backswing, the hosa twig, right? Because it has to be straight and it has to always be touching the carpet, right? So it was one of my goals. Okay, for this competition, I need to do my hosa twig right, and then I have to be able to land on my 540s on all 3 forms. Maybe I'm not slapping above my shoulder level, maybe on the front front kick. Okay, so that will be another. If I accomplish those 3 goals, I'm happy with the competition, regardless of the outcome. And sometimes just being by focusing on those goals, you can improve your score. But those are the techniques that I try to use, a little more psychological on the side.